Hey everyone, this is Mr. Nelson here. Hope you're all having a great day. Today I'm going to be talking to you about two very important things that pertain to the American government process. The first of these things are registering to vote. Registering to vote is a vital aspect to the American government system. Once you reach the age of 18, you are able to register to vote, and you can use this power of yours to vote on many different things, such as the President of the United States, state senators, local senators, House of Representative members, local laws, state laws, government policies, different things like that. The other important thing I'm going to be talking about is if you are over the age of 18 and a male, you're required to register for the Selective Service. We will go into more detail on that and what that means to you here shortly. First, we want to dive into registering to vote. So to do this, the easiest way you can get to it is by going to my website and going to useful links. Here you will see two links. The first you can see is register to vote in Alabama. So if you live in the state of Alabama, you can click on this link and it'll take you right to the voter registration page. Okay? If you live in another state, you can find how to register to vote in your state by just Googling it. So if you live in the state of Georgia, you could type in register to vote in Georgia and it will come up where you can go and register here. But for this, we're going to go to register to vote in Alabama. So here you have three different ways you can do it. You have online registration, fillable PDF, and mail me a form. So we'll start here on the right and go back. Mail me a form. The state of Alabama sends you a voter registration form. You fill it out yourself and you can go and mail it. They'll get it and register you there. The other option, we're going to click on it. It's fillable PDF. It'll pull up, and this has the form you can fill out on your device. You can print it out, and you can mail it to them, and it'll get you registered. But the easiest way to me and many people is an online registration. So we're going to click on that and take a look at it. So to register to vote, you must know the last day to register is the 15th day prior to the election. Here in the state of Alabama, our upcoming election is March 3rd, 2020. Now that means we'll have to be registered by February 15th. And look at here, it's February 4th, so we have plenty of time. To register to vote, you must be a citizen of the United States. Here you must be living in the state of Alabama. You must be over the age of 18 on or before Election Day. So if you turn 18 March 2nd, you can go ahead and register to vote. Your voter registration will become active March 2nd, and you'll still be able to register to vote in the March 3rd primaries. You also must not be barred from voting by any reason, which could be a felony conviction and things like that. And you must not have been judged as mentally incompetent in a court of law. One of the things you must have to register and vote in Alabama online is a valid driver's license or a non-driver's identification card. If you don't, you can come here and click on this hyperlink to get a form fillable mail-in voter registration like we saw before. Or if you do, you can go ahead and register to vote now. And to do that, you'll begin the application process. When you come here, it's going to ask you a couple questions such as, are you a citizen of the United States? You'll check it. If you're 18 years or older on or before the election day, you'll check it. And you must have a valid driver's license or non-driver's identification card by the state of Alabama, and you'll click on that. You'll go through this little reCAPTCHA, which makes sure you're not a robot or anybody that's trying to attack the website, and then you'll click Begin Voter Registration Application. So here, it's going to ask you a couple different things, and I'm going to go through the process. I don't want to give out any of my info, so I'm not going to fill it in, but what you're going to do is come down and fill out your information. You'll see a couple of these fields are optional, such as middle name, last 4 digits of your social, but you'll enter your first name, last name, date of birth, and driver's license or ID card number. Okay. Once you get done with that, you'll come over here and it's going to ask you for contact information. So they're going to want your residence address, which means the place you're actually living. So you would enter that here. You would come down here and mailing address. So if your mailing address is the same as the one above, you can click up here and it'll copy that down for you. Okay? Now, if it's not, let's say you have a P.O. box or your mail goes somewhere else, you'll enter that here and put that information there. It's going to also ask for a phone number and an email address. So go ahead and enter it in and then hit continue. The next screen is an optional screen. So you can choose to answer this. You do not have to. It's totally up to you. This is just for them to have. Usually it's for statistics, certain things like males of this race voted this way, but totally up to you. You do not have to put it. It is not required. As you can see, it is optional. So if I do not want to enter that, I can hit continue, and it's going to ask one more thing. So let's say you have already registered to vote. You have a change, like you got married. If you're a little bit older, you can change that here if you're already registered, or let's say you moved, you can change it here as well. So once you get done with that, if you do not have anything, you can leave it blank. If you do, change it here. Then you will hit continue. Next, it'll bring you to a screen, and once again, I'm not going to go through it because that has all personal information on there. And you will hit confirm, and it'll go through and have all the information you have gave. Okay, this is going to have all the information that you've previously answered, and you just need to verify that that is correct. Once you verify, you can go through, confirm that information, and you're good to go. You won't have to worry about anything else. You will be all registered to vote. Once that happens, you should receive information by way of mail, or you may receive a phone call, an email telling you what your next step is. And usually here in my county in Alabama, it allows us to be able to see what our voting precinct is. Here we have many different voting precincts throughout the county. Some of them are civic centers, the courthouse, churches, schools, different buildings, and those show you which one's closest to your home and where you'll be voting. So that is how simple and easy it is to register to vote. Voting, like I said, is one of the most important things you can do as an American citizen. This shows you have a voice. This shows that you can speak for your beliefs and that you can vote people in to represent your voice into the State House of Representatives, the U.S. House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate, State Senate, and even the presidency of the United States. So like I said, this is a very, very important aspect. So let's jump into the second thing we were talking about, and that was the Selective Service Act. So I'm going to close out of these tabs, and right here, I already have pulled up what the Selective Service Act is. So in 1917, the United States government enacted the Selective Draft Act, or the Selective Service Act. And what this means that with this act is, if ever need be, if a war comes up or anything like that, that the U.S. government could draft you in the Selective Service system. So let's take a look at it and see why we should do it. So first of all, Selective Service Act is a law. So all male U.S. citizens, no matter where you live, if you're immigrants, if you're documented or undocumented, that live in the United States who are 18 through 25 are required to register for the Selective Service. So you must register within 30 days of your 18th birthday. So men who do not register within the 60-day window are in violation of law. Many people do not know that. Registration is the law. By registering all available men, it's a fair and equitable draft. So there hasn't been a draft since 1973, and that was the Vietnam War. There Hasn't been one since, but it's still required, and it is your civic duty to register for the draft. So if you fail to register for the draft, you could face penalties or not receive benefits. Okay. So to register, what we're going to do, we're going to start like we didn't see that page. You're going to come to the website, the useful links again, and click on the Selective Service Registration. This is going to bring you back to that website we saw earlier. On the left-hand pane, you will see registration form. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to go through the process here. So it is going to ask you a couple questions. Super easy. This is almost easier than registering to vote. They make it simple. They make it fast. So first of all, you're going to list if you're male or female. This is like before on voter registration, this was optional. This is not optional here. So the current law in the United States, if you're a female, you do not have to register for the draft. So if you are a female, you won't have to worry about these steps here. So what you're going to do first is you're going to have your first name and last name entered. But you also need to do your first and middle name up here. So do your first, middle name, and then your last name. If you have a suffix, go ahead and put the suffix. Next, you will put your street address or P.O. box. So go ahead and enter it in. Enter your city, your state, and your zip code. Like before, it was optional to put in your social security number. It is not optional here. So you must put in your social security number with no dashes or spaces. So go ahead and enter it here. Date of birth, enter it in the format like listed below. And then your email address. So this will send you the confirmation and everything like that. Go ahead and enter in your phone number. Don't put any dashes or spaces. And then it's going to ask you a question, how did you learn about the registration? So there's many different options. You're going to pick one though. You can see parent and relative. We'll just scroll through a few here. If you're in high school, you might see guidance counselor, financial aid office, post office. So many different things there. All right. Once you complete, you're going to hit submit registration. It'll go through, tell you if you're finished. If you had any errors, you'll go ahead and fix those. It'll highlight them in red. And then once you're finished, you will get a confirmation and should as well get an email confirmation. So I hope you learned today how easy it is to register to vote, why it is important to register to vote, and how easy it is to register for the Selective Service. Now, if you have any questions on their website, let's go back here. The Selective Service website, you can find many different things, such as change of information. What if you've registered and you've changed addresses or have something changed there? You can fix it here. If you have any questions on why you need to register, it's here. Also, if you want to learn about the women in the draft, you can click here. All right, so we're going to close out of that tab and we're going to go back to that voting in Alabama. So if you have any questions about that, you can come down here and read all about the voting in Alabama. Also, you can come over here to the right side and hear why vote. So this is going to tell you one of the main reasons to vote. And another website you can go to, let's type it in real quick. I actually really like, it's called Rock the Vote. So this is an organization that actually promotes voting. So you can come on here, see different things, information about why you should vote, understanding voting rights. You can read through that. And you can also see information about getting ready to vote. So if it's your first time voting, you want to learn a little bit extra, you can find voting FAQ&Qs, which are answers and questions, all right here. You can filter through, like let's say I want to learn more about registering to vote. You can come here and see more. It's going to answer questions about different things, and I'm not going to go super into detail, such as absentee ballots. let's say presidential election is coming up in November. You're going off to college. You won't be in your local town to vote. What can you do? You can get an absentee ballot sent to you. You can fill it out, mail it back, and your vote will count. So that is very important. And you can find more information about that here. What I will do actually, to make this easier for you, I will drop this link right here in this useful links once this video is over. So you'll be able to find that here. You can go on to the Mr. Nelson's History Corner website, go to useful links, and you will see that rock the vote link there once this video is complete. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something today, and thank you for your time.